McArthur. Let me know when you can hear me. I know sometimes it takes a second to get everything connected. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. I was like, oh, I think I can hear you. So, perfect. How's it going? So it sounds like, because normally I thought mornings you were more open. So sounds like your
Yeah.
work schedule changed a little bit.
Cause I like work third shift, so like I get off like right at 7:30. So like
Oh, okay,
yeah,
got it.
so like when you're like 10:30 EST, I was like, wait, so PST. I was like, okay, I was like, yeah, that gets right when
Ah,
I get off. I was
yeah,
like,
okay. I didn't realize you were
yeah,
on PST. Got it. Okay, yeah. Perfect. Yeah, I just was trying to think like usually you liked earlier times, so I didn't realize you were on Pacific time because before you were in Florida, right?
yes, yeah.
Yeah, so now you're on Pacific time. Okay, great. So I was trying to like think of the best times for you, but I didn't realize your schedule was different. So now I know. All
It's it's
righty.
it's it's
So,
gonna it's gonna go back to like normal pretty soon.
okay, yeah, you
Yeah,
just things are a little different right now. That's
yeah.
okay. Well, into like it's holiday season, so I know like everything changes whenever the holidays are happening too, with visiting family and, taking holidays off, maybe working overtime. So I'm glad that we found a good time for you. All right. So how is your voice feeling? Because I know that as the weather gets colder and like it's kind of cold and flu season, sometimes we can feel a little sniffly. I forgot to take my allergy medicine this morning, so I was like in the recording booth and I was like, why is my throat kind of like, like feeling drainagey? And then I was like, oh wait, I didn't take my medicine. Oops, my bad. So I had a little sniffle nasal drip today. Um,
I
oh
feel you on
well.
that.
So it happens. But yeah, I'm just kind of checking on how your voice is feeling. A couple of my students actually today said that well, yesterday and today said that they were feeling kind of vocally fatigued just because of like certain characters they've been working on, that maybe certain characters are more vocally fatiguing than others. So just kind of, how's your voice feeling?
It's going good. Like I've been doing like every time I work, I like get like a hot cup of water, and so like I have like
Yeah.
just like a honey with me, and I put the honey in there, and I'll put
Ah,
like a drop of
yeah.
one of those like cough drop honey things in there. So like
Sure.
every
Oh,
now
that's
and then I'll just
smart.
like drink that. So it's
It's very
definitely been
soothing
helping.
to the
Yeah.
voice. I love that. Awesome. Very cool. Okay, so then what would you say for today is maybe your main goal? I'm trying to like look through my notes and think about what we've been working on more recently. What do you think? Main
Today,
goals.
I would probably, I would, oh man, I would probably just kind of say like being able to like not work like dang, how would you say it? Like I guess like being able to like work in like that different like emotional spectrum within like that character. So like he could be like feeling one way at the beginning, but then like do the next, like throughout like that transition of like the characters, or like I guess like the script or dialogue. Like he could be like angry, but then like that anger turns into like sadness,
Mhm.
while also like kind of having, because I know like we went over like grunts and stuff like that, like while in like
Yeah, the
while
sound
and
effect
putting
kind of thing,
yeah,
like a gasp or a
yeah,
grunt or like a shock sound
yeah,
or a sniffle and like teary, like those sound effect kind of things. Yeah.
yeah.
Are you feeling better with those?
Yeah, yeah, I am
Good.
most definite.
I love that. Awesome. Okay, good. All right. So how were you practicing those? Like, what were you doing to explore those and practice those? What are maybe some that you feel like you're doing really well with? What are some that are a little bit more challenging?
So like the way like I was doing it is like there's this guy, well, I guess like two people on TikTok. Like he
Yeah.
like makes his own scripts. So like I was like going off like his scripts, And then there's like these other people that I forgot what they were called. I can't. They're not on like my thing anymore. I like took them off, so because I have too many
Okay.
tabs open. But
That's
like
okay.
they had like their own scripts that they put out because they were making like an animation and like
Mhm.
they had like different characters, but like it was like a fun ish type animation. Man, I want to see if I
Yeah.
could. And like they just had like different characters. Like they had like a grumpy character, or like a very um like a very like rebel esque character, or like a character that's
Sure.
like a part of like the gang, like the kid gang group, but like he's very like artistic. Like he's like,
Mhm.
oh, you like our shirts? I made my shirts. Like, oh, this is it. And so like it had like different characters in like that sense of a way. And so like just doing like running from like that script and then like the other guy's scripts and like being able to like play their other characters and like it's like would he grunt his teeth when he says this?
Mhm.
Will he have like an angry voice but like will there be like sorrow and sadness around it? So like is his voice cracking? Is he like
Mm.
or like how he's like
Oh,
manic?
yeah.
Is like
Yeah.
yeah.
I, I can not even continue talking because, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
oh,
just
fun. Yeah, just exploring different choices. Love it.
yeah.
Very cool. So
I want to find
today,
it.
then, do you want to kind of further that exploration?
Yeah, I'm totally
Okay,
down with that.
cool. Love it. Do you have certain scripts you want to look at, or do you want to do more improvisation, like creating a character in a world and improv with that? Do you want me to give you some scripts? Do you have certain maybe emotions you want to explore?
I'm because I can't find them right now, so I'm I'm totally down with you like picking those
Sure.
scripts, most definite.
Yeah,
But then
absolutely.
if I find these scripts because they're like very short scripts, but
Hmm.
can't find them right now. But if I find them, I will definitely like put them
Yeah. I
in
have
the
one that would
chat.
be fun to play with that I had a different student working on. It's from Jekyll and Hyde. And what I thought was really fun about it was what I liked about it is that you get to transition with this particular moment. It's where he's like, taking the medication and he's like, analyzing what he's feeling, but then you see him transition and turn. So.
Mm.
So I think it's kind of a fun moment. So I was like, oh, that might be kind of a fun spot to work on. So I just put it into the chat. So this is like he's taken the potion, he's like analyzing what's happening. He's being all doctory, but then he's like, oh, I feel this and I feel this and I feel this. And then he morphs into Mr. Like the angel and demon on your shoulders kind of a thing.
Right, I feel
I
you
thought
on
that was
that.
kind of a fun one. So I thought maybe that would be a cool one to look at. So you have like very clinical, professional, kind Dr. Jekyll, and then you have crazy evil Mr. Hyde. And I feel like the journey of the transformation is kind of a cool moment. So to explore.
Okay.
So I thought this, and I actually think this would be a good character for you to voice too. What would be some other fun characters? Maybe like different characters from Christmas Carol. There's a lot of variety there. Um, we could look at characters from like famous fairy tales or
Oh.
like literary characters, or you could take like cartoon characters that are fun for you. Like one of my students really loves Has Been Hotel, and we've been working on character voices from that. So if there's something you really love, like one of my students loves My Hero Academia, and she really likes working on character voices from that. So so anything that, kind of lights you up and gets you all excited,
Mm.
we can definitely
The
look at.
the one that came to mind is
Sure.
the Hatter or not I can't remember his name, but the Hatter from Alice in Wonderland.
Sure,
The
yeah.
like the guy that like makes all the hats. For some reason that
The
came to
Mad
mind.
Hatter. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Then like also like one would be like Rumpelstiltskin from like Once Upon a Time. Dope.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Sorry, I was looking at Mad Hatter and then my brain totally blanked on From Once Upon a Time. Which character was it?
Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh, he's such a fun character. I love him. Yeah. Sorry, I just was like focused and then I was like, wait a minute. I just like it was there and then it just like went in one ear and flew away. So
All
sorry about
good,
that.
all good.
Okay, Rumpelstiltskin. Okay. All right, I've got a fun Mad Hatter moment. Okay, so here's that. And then,
Okay, I found their scripts. My, how do I put it in Messenger?
right, this one has some like direction in it too for Rumpelstiltskin. Cool. Okay. Wow. There's like a fan page and it has so many Rumpelstiltskin moments from the show. It has like which episodes it's from. People get very into their shows. It's like all transcribed out. Okay. Alrighty, so we've got a few fun ones here to play with. Which do you want to do first?
Oh, I guess we could just start from the top. I
All right, let's
guess.
do it. So we got Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Transformation time.
20 p.m. I've injected the potion. Sweaty. How do you say that T word? Tachycardia?
Yeah, it's I'm guessing tachycardia.
Tachycardia? Okay.
That could be wrong. Very clinical. Tachycardia.
Suffocation. Ooh, God, heat. Possible hypertension. I will check it. Oh, spasms, convulsions. I feel my body growing. Feel strong. Big. Oh, big. Stronger. I feel much stronger. No one knows what's going to stop me. My instincts now rises. Oh wow, that's dope. Because I definitely like. I feel my body growing. I feel strong. Like I feel like that's definitely like the sentence where he
Yeah.
changes.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That you're like, oh, that's the like light switch moment
Yeah.
where it just like flips. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me see if I can get this down. Ooh. Oh, I don't know why I always get nervous.
Oh. Hey, it's okay. We're just starting it. So this first time reading, just kind of read it out loud, get the words in your mouth, get used to the order of the words, just kind of practicing saying them. So just like as yourself reading out loud, just sort of get in the flow of it.
8:20 p.m. I've injected the potion. Sweating. Tachycardia. Wait, I'm sorry. I can't
Okay.
say that word. Tachycardia. Tachycardia.
Mhm.
Tachycardia. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna like look this up afterwards. I'm like, we were so saying that wrong.
No worries.
All right. 8:20 p.m. I've injected the potion. Sweating. Tachycardia. Suffocation. Oh, God. Heat. Possible hypertension. I will check it. Oh, spasms, convulsions. I feel my body growing. I feel strong, big, big, stronger. I feel much stronger. No one else is going to stop me. My instinct now arises. I can beat anyone. I know I will. I am Hyde.
Nice. Good. Yeah, I definitely heard the flip there and you already are being expressive with it. I love it. Okay. So tell me a little bit about the personalities of the character. Now it is the same character, but it's two distinct personas because
Mm,
this potion basically changes him completely.
right.
Because Dr. Jekyll would never do with his like conscious normal self would never do the things Mr. Hyde does. He
Right.
doesn't, go to brothels and get violent and be like rude and unruly and like slap women around, like and get drunk and like rouse all night, like cause a
Yeah.
ruckus. He's not that person. And and he's just like completely, completely different. So how can we show that he is technically the same person, but completely different personalities? Yeah. So describe for me the
Mm.
two aspects of the character.
Oh man. Um. So I would definitely say, I guess for uh for Hyde at least, I feel like his aspect is more like just reading this. I would look at it
Mhm.
as more as like he's like, yeah, I'm like already better than everybody else. Like I was created to be better
Mm.
than everybody else. To where like if you look at like the doctor side, like even with the words that they're saying, like he's describing everything that he's going through
Yeah.
with different with different scientific, very detailed words. To where like all Hyde says is, "I'm bigger, I'm stronger, no one can stop me." Like
Yeah.
to where like with the doctor, like I'm just kind of like, okay, so he's thinking it through. He's done it for a reason. He wants to mark everything that's kind of going down. So like
Yeah.
that's how I guess I would like differentiate the two
Hmm.
just from that just from reading that, I guess.
Yeah. Good. Okay. So then let's go ahead and try that again.
Excuse me.
You're good.
8:20 p.m. I've injected the potion. Sweating, tachycardia, suffocation. Ooh, God, heat, possible hypertension. I will check it. Oh, spasms, convulsions. I feel my body growing. I feel strong, big, big, stronger. I feel much stronger. No one else is going to stop me. My instinct now arises. I can beat anyone. I know I will. I am Hyde.
Nice. So, I noticed you get kind of like a husky quality and you drop in pitch when you get to Mr. Hyde. What would be um I was also thinking we could maybe play with the dialect as well, like when you're more professional, polished, you're more educated, and then maybe kind of making him sound a bit more like less educated, less professional, like more like street savvy. We can even
Mm,
play with dialect a little bit more with this character.
gotcha.
What do you think of that? I mean, we don't have to, but it's just
I
a thought.
Yeah, I definitely see where you're going. I
Hmm.
definitely yeah. All right. So would you okay? So I guess how would I make him sound smarter without having to change his accent? Does that make sense? I guess.
Right, yeah. Maybe like a little more crisp diction. 8:20 p.m. I have injected the potion, sweating, tachycardia, suffocation. Oh, God. Heat, possible hypertension. I will check it. Ah! Right? And then when he changes, like, no one else is gonna stop me. Like gonna to stop me instead of like to stop me. You know, my instinct
Gotcha.
now arises. I can beat anyone. I know I will. Like it's a little blurrier, and also like I
Mm.
kind of think with the potion, he might be kind of like a drunk person a little bit. I don't know, as he's like hulking out. Because he
I
had a
feel you on
potion,
that.
it was like drugs are affecting him. So I could see him like slurring a little more, like, no one else is gonna stop me. Like, so his diction might be less good. I don't know. Just a thought. What do you
Gotcha.
think?
Gotcha. Okay. I feel you on that. I will try my darnest.
Okay. We're just experimenting, we're playing.
Okay. 8:20 p.m. I've injected the potion. Sweating, tachycardia, suffocation. Ooh, God, heat, possible hypertension. I will check it. Spasms, convulsions. I feel my body growing. I feel strong. Big. Big, stronger. I feel much stronger. No one else is gonna stop me. My instincts now arises. I can beat anyone. I know I will. I am Hyde.
Nice. Yeah. And I felt like your like character voice changed a little bit that time too. Almost like you were kind of enjoying it, which was kind of a fun thought that he's like, "Ooh, I like this. I feel good. I feel strong." Right? Like that he's like, "Oh, I like." Right?
I feel you.
Which I thought was really fun.
I was just like more think like how you said like, oh, it's a drug. I was like, oh, I guess if it is a drug, you'd feel very good when you
You
first
might.
using it, and then
Yeah.
afterwards you're like, oh, that high, it's not that good anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like coming down from it, he might feel kind of crummy. Yeah. Yeah. Good. So then, what did you like about that take? What do you want to keep about it, and what would you change about it?
So I definitely like the voice dictions.
Hmm.
Definitely will practice that, but I like how like it's definitely going. Like, um, I would keep also like how you're like, oh, it feels like you're enjoying the high kind of thing to it. Um,
Yeah,
I
it's
would,
like a fun take on it, like that I
yeah.
hadn't considered before. And I was like, oh, I like that. That's fun. Yeah.
Um, I would slow it down just a bit,
Hmm.
probably.
Okay.
And then put like more emphasis on like the like where it's like ooh, like put more
Hmm.
emphasis on that because it's like okay, he's definitely feeling something from this.
Yeah.
But kind of like other than that, like I kind of like the two voices that I'm using for it, the tone, how it's
Hmm.
the subtle shift that it's going with.
Yeah.
But
Okay, let's do it again. And I want you to really lean into those aspects you're liking. Take them even further, and let's try it again. So even more big and dramatic with it.
8:20 p.m. I've injected the potion. Sweating, tachycardia, suffocation. Ooh, God, heat, possible hypertension. I will check it. Spasms, convulsions. I feel my body growing. I feel strong. Big. Big. Strong. I feel much stronger. No one else is gonna stop me. My instincts now arises. I can beat anyone. I know I will. I'm Hyde.
Yeah, I love it. Then he's like, "Ooh, I feel good." That's awesome. Love it. It's like when All Might bulks out, and then he like shrivels back up to his like little guy self.
I feel you on
He's like,
that.
"I'm fierce in this moment. I am here." And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm just a chill, normal guy now." I love it. Very good. That was really fun. I like it. That was fun.
Sweet.
So I'm gonna say gold star. Let's move on to the next one.
Sweet.
Okay, so we have Rumpelstiltskin is the guy at the bottom, I think. Yeah. So this one is, darn it, I forgot. Oh,
Mad
Mad
Hatter.
Hatter. Mad Hatter. Yes. I was like, wait a minute. That makes sense because I was like, these lines are a bit odd. So yeah,
And
he is mad after all. A
that's
jolly
the
mad fellow.
it's very true.
We're
Did you
all a
know
little bit mad here in Wonderland.
I never knew Sebastian Stan played the Mad Hatter at one point. Because like
Oh.
was watching somebody on YouTube and they like brung it up because they're like breaking down Once Upon a Time, and they're like, yeah, he was there for like 2 episodes and then he went to Marvel, and I was like, he was? I was like, oh, that is Sebastian Stan. I was like, that's crazy.
You
I
know
was
who might
like,
be another fun character? The Cheshire Cat could be another fun one.
mm, that would be nice. He
That
seems
one's kind of
very
a fun.
chill.
Yeah. Alrighty, so tell me a little bit about the Mad Hatter.
I guess like all I really know, kind of like I've never actually read the books. I'm being completely honest.
That's
What
fine.
actually like brings me into this world is I love the two Alice in Wonderland movies on Disney. I know they're not the most
Mhm.
popular, but then like I'm like I like
That's
them. I'm
okay.
like that's dope. And then
I
like
often like things that like so my husband likes to be like, well, like on Rotten Tomatoes and only got this. And I'm like, I don't care.
right,
I want to watch it.
yeah,
Like
I
when the
feel you
Lord
on
of the
that.
Rings show came out on Amazon Prime, I was like, I'm watching it. You cannot
Yeah,
take this from me. And I was like, you know what? I thoroughly enjoyed it. Who cares what these people gave it? You
yeah,
know, if like
like
movies had like one or two thumbs up, I was like, I don't care what these people think. I
yeah.
liked it, you know? So,
Yeah, I feel you on that. I've
yeah.
never really like hated a show or a movie because I've seen like some bad movies,
Yeah.
and it's
And you
just
can
like,
still enjoy it. I've
yeah,
seen some really bad, like kung fu, like
yeah,
80s karate movies that are just
yeah.
terrible, but they're so delightful.
I
And
feel you on
I
that.
thoroughly enjoyed them. I know
Yeah.
people who like revel in terribly made horror films and like seek them out. So I feel like what brings you joy, just embrace it and don't worry what anyone else thinks.
I feel that. I feel that. And then, but like one thing that also I guess like pulled me to Alice in Wonderland is like people are always like, oh well, what is it, Dorothy? Like the Wizard of
Oh yeah,
Oz and stuff
the
like
Wizard of
that.
Oz. Mhm.
Right, and like I was always like, I guess like for me, every time I looked up Alice in Wonderland, people always compared those two, and I was like, Alice in Wonderland's better. I don't care about no Yellow Brick Road, whatever.
I didn't
I
realize
mean,
people compared them.
yeah, I never knew that, so
Alice in
I'm always
Wonderland is
like,
definitely more like trippy and
yeah,
like crazy creative and like off the wall and like what's gonna happen next. I feel like the Dorothy story is much more tame.
like don't get me wrong, like I've definitely still got to go watch the Wicked movie that's out. Like I'm
Oh
definitely still gonna go watch it, but I'm
yeah. Yeah.
like,
I
I'd
went
take
to
like
it.
a
I
Mad
definitely,
Hatter.
so I have a bad habit as like a person in the creative world of picking it apart and being like, I was very confused by this choice and the makeup artist did a fabulous job here, but you know, it was just okay in this other moment. And I really loved this character's acting choice here, but I felt like they seemed kind of empty and like they didn't really have a strong point of view in this other moment. So like I have a bad habit of doing that, like picking it apart, but I
Mm,
thoroughly enjoyed myself. I felt so good after the movie. I was so happy I went to it. I had no idea who the person who played Elphaba was beforehand. I thought she did such a great job. I loved her in the movie. I was like, I didn't even know who you were, and I love you. I thought she did great. And like dancing through life when Wicked first came out, I was like, I don't get it. I don't like this character. But like in my life experience and growth, I now am like, and I've seen this musical like live in multiple cities over the years. Like I've seen it many times. And I like really, really liked that moment. And I was like, oh, I love this. I think this is my new favorite song from the show. Like, so I definitely had like surprising moments in it. I love that they put the two original people who played Galinda and Elphaba in the movie in other parts. I thought that was wonderful.
mm.
So I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Loved it. My husband had no idea, like no frame of reference for Wicked, but it brought me such joy, even with my brain like, breaking it all down because it's like my
Right.
job.
I feel you on
But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed myself and it afterwards I felt so happy that I went. In fact, I would go again. So
that.
yeah. And I haven't
Yeah,
looked at any reviews. I don't care what other people think.
I feel you. I feel you on that. I,
I'm like, I loved it. I would go again.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I'm definitely like, because I'm how you like break stuff down. I don't like break, I guess, the story down, but like I'm a very big like animation and CGI person. So I'm like, oh, was that practical effects? Oh man,
Yeah.
who worked on like that makeup? Like, oh
Hmm.
snap, who like built that armor suit? Like I
Yeah.
love like Dungeon and Dragons. Like, yeah, it's not the best movie, but I'm like, yo, that was like all
Mhm.
practical effects. Like her flipping into the
Yeah.
wagon, like that somebody really built like that square space, and then
Mhm.
she was on it, and they actually flipped the whole bit.
Yeah.
I was like, it wasn't just CGI of her flipping into
That was
something.
something
Like
I
they did.
loved about the Wicked
So
movie. I thought the choreography and like the stunts and things, I thought they did really well. And they stayed very true to the musical, like how the musical is done.
mm,
So I really liked that. I was like, oh, this is like the musical. They didn't change it a bunch.
yeah,
Like they were like tiny tweaks, but I really enjoyed that. Like they had a lot of practical effects, which were really cool. So I thought it was well done. I really enjoyed it. Have you seen, out of curiosity, Moana 2? One of my other students was
I
like, "Oh, they like
have.
outsourced it." And I was like, "Whatever. I still want to see it. I still want to hear the voice acting and all that jazz, you know." But they were like, "Yeah, I'm not going to support it because it's the first movie Disney like outsourced the animation." I'm like, "That doesn't mean that it's bad.
Yeah, like I like
Maybe
a
it's
lot of
still great."
shows. Like I don't think people know. I'm not gonna say I don't think people know, but like a lot of people were very shocked with like. Have you heard about the Arcane show on Netflix?
I watched it. I'm gonna
Okay,
look it
so
up
like
now.
Netflix. I don't think people know that like Netflix doesn't have like its own animation studio. So like
Right.
this is a
Yeah.
studio that's like so like all
Even
the
like
animation or
movies
like
and
anim.
TV
Yeah,
shows, people can make them and sell them to Netflix
yeah.
after the
So
fact. So like
yeah,
indie films and stuff, they can make it and then sell it to the company. So that's actually very normal that you could have
yeah.
like an animation studio make something, or that Netflix just like outsources the animation for
Right.
their shows, that they like, pitch it to them, or like, "Hey, can I hire you?" I feel like that's very normal. And
Yeah.
the way like now it's all streaming. Like even
Yeah.
TV channels and things now, it's like have their own streaming services. And I'm just
Right.
like, everyone has a streaming service now.
Yeah.
It's
That's crazy.
confusing. It's weird because I think back to like cable packages and
Yeah.
satellite TV and stuff. And I'm just
My
like,
parents and them
wow, how
still
things
have
have
cable.
changed. Really?
Yeah, because I mean,
It's still a thing?
we kind of live like out in the middle of nowhere, also. So it's
But
very nice
getting
to
good
have cable.
internet is
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
Oh, that's actually really smart.
yeah.
Because it's
But
like
like,
hardwired and
yeah,
like buried cables in the ground. So like weather is not going to affect it.
yeah.
And that's awesome. That's actually genius.
But yeah, like that's why, like, especially now, like I think a lot of animators also can't speak for the animation world because I'm not in it, but I feel like a lot of them are also like, oh, I can just work from home. Why not?
Right.
Because it's also like
I do hear they're
Pixar and
very
like
like
DreamWorks.
overworked and rushed
Yeah,
and like pressured, but they also, I'm sure you're in that world, you love the
yeah,
creative aspects, but I do hear that they're like very overworked. So a lot of animators in Japan, like with anime shows, have gone on
yeah,
strike
yeah.
recently because they're like, "You're pushing us way too hard. We're working way overtime. We're not being compensated. We're stressed out the wazoo." So like I think Jujutsu Kaisen was like delayed because of a strike, and they were like, "Yeah, we're
Mm,
just not doing it. You need to give us more employees and more time." Because they're like, "You're holding us to this impossibly high standard." Like Jujutsu Kaisen has amazing fight scenes. Like their
right.
animation is so good. But yeah, they were like overworked and overstressed. So I heard that there have been like some strikes and things. So I do want companies to
No.
take better care of them. But
Do
I
you
am constantly
watch?
in awe of what animators do.
Oh
So
yeah, most definite. Do you watch Blue Lock? I was so disappointed
no.
with season two. Their animation
Mm.
like plummeted
Oh,
in a sense of like it's like still frames. Like everybody's like I don't even want to watch it anymore. And
that's
like a
fun.
couple of the animators came out and were like, well, it's because like they weren't using their full animations. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
So they did the work and they didn't use.
Yeah, and they weren't using the full animation, and I think it's more of like they
Right.
animated so much, and it's because it's like a sports anime, so like they're like running all the time and hitting, so it's like I guess it's like in a
So
sense of
people
like
felt like it
it's
was too much
very
movement and simplified
yeah,
it.
and
Oh,
so like
maybe it's
when
that
the
the
editors
editors
try to
didn't have the
yeah,
time.
that's
That
what a
the
lot of people are
editors are
like
like, we
saying.
don't have time and we can't like rush and get it out in time.
Right. And then they're like, it might not fit. I
Ah,
guess like within like the 24 minutes of like the episode and stuff like that.
yeah. They're like,
And I
we
was like,
can't.
I would rather have had you guys made more episodes. So like the
Yeah, just
smoothness.
expand it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, because I watch like a lot, so
Oh,
I
because
like
it's
compare it
probably
to like
like
Ice Shield.
jumping and they're missing
Yeah,
transitions and yeah.
because like I compare it to like Ice Shield 21 or Hajime no Ippo or like Haikyuu. So I'm like all these other sports animations look
Yeah.
wonderful, and then
My
you
brother
have
loves the
Bullock.
ping pong one. He's
I
like,
have
it's
not
like the
seen that.
best. Oh,
I've seen
oh,
Prince
there's
of
a ping
Tennis.
pong anime, and my brother is not even a sports person, like at all.
Mm,
And he's like, it's one of the best animes he's ever seen.
I'm gonna have
So
to
if you look up
watch
like the ping pong
that.
anime, it's like competitive ping pong. He said it's one of the best animes he's ever seen. Like he ranks it like in the tippy top. I haven't watched it yet, but it's on my list. I have a very long list. So
I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna have to watch. Yeah, because I watch because I'm a big, I guess, like sports anime guy. I didn't realize how many sports
yeah.
anime I watched until like I watched like Dear Boy, Slam Dunk,
Yeah.
ISO 21, Hajime no Ippo, Areisho, Knights of the Arena, Giant
Yeah.
Slayer, Ace No Diamond. I was like, okay, I watch
Giant
a lot of
Slayer is on
sports.
my list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, Ace No Diamond should be on your list. There's another one. There's another baseball one that just came out. Animation is
I
so
watched
much
one
better than
about
like.
chess. I can't remember the name.
I have not seen that one. I've watched one about gambling. Like,
Oh,
yeah, like, it's like a high school that gambles. I was like, you guys take this way too
I
out of
feel like
like.
I'm more into like shonen anime or like sometimes fantasy things with like
Mm,
demons and angels or
I
aliens. I
feel
don't
you.
know.
I feel you on that. Have you watched like
Sci-fi?
Gurren Lagann?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The story, I feel like it definitely starts off as like, okay, wait, you guys are throwing galaxies at each other now? Like, what? Hold up.
Yeah, it's
Like,
like yeah,
but
sometimes that one I feel like okay, this is like a little ridiculous now. But that's good. That's
yeah.
the lovability.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel you on that.
But yes,
Ta-
yes,
have
that
you
one I have
seen
seen.
Have you seen Assassination Classroom? I'm sorry, like we're
No.
totally supposed to be voice acting,
It's
and we're so
okay.
off topic.
I'm gonna write these
But
down. I've got Blue Lock, Arcane. Wait, say that again. Assassination. What?
Assassination Classroom. It's such a good story. That's one of the few anime. It's
I'm
only
gonna
two
look it up.
seasons, so to me, you can like finish it in like a week. It's only two
Oh,
seasons.
great.
That's like one of the only
I get
series that I've
so
ever
emotionally
watched.
attached and
Oh,
heartbroken when they're
no,
over.
this is what's gonna. If you watch
Like I
it,
regularly am like, I miss Mob. I want to go
oh,
back and rewatch Mob.
I
I
feel
miss
you on
him.
that.
I've never gone back and rewatched that one, but I like regularly am like, I miss him. I
And
get
like you're
very emotionally attached and I get really sad when things end.
like I like about this one too is like it hits every student that's in the classroom. Like they get a story, the teachers get a
I
story,
get
it all
moments.
connects. I'm just
Yeah.
like one of the few
Love
animes where
that.
like at the end of the series, like the last episode, a tear just came down. I said, "Oh my god!" I was like, "No, why does it have to end like
Goodbye,
this?"
friend. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very,
Yeah.
very good,
I'm
very good.
watching AP Bio right now too, and I like that they do that. Like it's like every episode I feel like there's a new character that you get insight. Like you're like, "Oh, this student that you've never really like I've never noticed them in the classroom before. Now I get to know about them more personally." Or it's like, "Oh, let's learn more about like the secretary in the principal's office," or like, "Let's learn more about the health teacher at the
Yeah,
school." So you like get to know the characters, like more insights. It's very silly, but sometimes you just need a little silliness in life.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I really like that aspect that it's like you get insight into different characters every episode, which is fun.
Yeah.
So, okay. So refocusing. That was a lovely little vignette, little, disconnect. So we are doing the Mad Hatter. So
Right,
one
right.
thing, obviously, he is mad. Secondly, he loves hats. He makes hats. So what is that called again? There's like a
A
name for
seamstress,
hat designers. No,
a
they have like
tailor.
a special
No.
name.
Oh, they have like a spell. I never knew that.
They have a
I
special
knew like
name. They're
clockmakers.
artisans.
I knew like
Yeah.
clockmakers and stuff have special names. I never knew hat
So he's
makers did.
mad. He's a hatter. He loves hats. He designs hats. He makes hats. He has tea with his bestie every day,
Hmm.
all the time. It's like always tea o'clock. He lives in Wonderland, which is just the trippiest place. It's like psychedelic wonder colors. And there's probably something special in this tea. So, what else do we know about him? Oh, he's welcoming, right? He's like,
Yeah.
come have tea with us, right? So he's friendly, welcoming. What
I would
else?
say he's a very good survivalist. Like he knows
Surveillance.
how to survive because he
Yeah.
never gets on the queen's bad side.
That's true. He kind of like stays in his corner, is like, I
Yeah.
avoid trouble.
Yeah. Oh,
I feel like he's very poetic.
yes, yes. I feel
Um,
like he's very family oriented. Like he loves his family.
oh,
Just
okay.
from the movies, I don't know from the books, but like from the
Yeah.
movies, he's very like, I want my
He
family
loves his
back.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. He's very, I feel like whimsical and fun.
Yes, yes, yes. Most definitely.
He is a foodie for sure.
Yes.
Loves his food and tea and crumpets and finger sandwiches. I feel like all of his fashion he's into. Like he's usually very stylish head to toe, I think.
Most definite. Most
He's
definite.
very vibrant, enthusiastic. Yeah.
Positive outlook, yes.
I feel like he's a little bit of like a showman.
Yes, I can see that. I can see that.
Maybe he's very like artistic and like a little salesy because he
Mm,
haberdashery.
that's the,
The haberdashery is where they have hats.
I
That's
did
the
not know
word.
that. Did
If
not
you
know
have a
that.
hat shop, it's a haberdashery.
Haberdashery.
That's the fancy word.
Oh.
So would you be a haberdasher? I don't know. Anyway, he probably has a haberdashery somewhere. Um, yes. So I see him as like an artist, but also a businessman, salesy. Yeah. Hmm. I feel like he's someone who likes riddles. Like he's very clever.
I feel like he would like read the riddle and then like but never figure it out. Like I feel like he would try to figure it out, but he'd be like, ah,
Yeah,
cool riddle. Don't know the answer, but I'm gonna ask everybody I see.
I
Type
love
of
it.
thing. And then like when they ask
Yeah.
him for the answer, I'm like he would be like, I don't know. It's
Very
just cool.
extroverted.
Yeah.
Yeah. He makes friends easily. Okay, I love it. We have a lot of good insight into this character. Do you feel like he would talk higher pitched, lower pitched, faster, slower, brighter tone, warmer tone? Would he have an accent? What kind of voice
I
do we
would
want?
say definitely like a little bit higher pitch than like I guess
Okay,
like my normal voice.
love that.
Very, I feel like he would definitely talk fast, but like every word you would hear every word, but every word would go by fast. Like
So,
it's
like
not like
lightning quick, but still very clear.
yeah.
I feel like he's a little neurotic. Like he could be on one train of thought and like quickly just bounce to
Oh,
another,
bounce another
or
one.
like
Yeah,
easily distracted. Like
yeah,
he's on this train of thought. He's like, ooh, squirrel. Like I feel like
yeah.
he's that kind of person.
Most definitely,
I'm
most
kind of like
definitely.
that, honestly. So
Um, out
at
of
times,
the out
my
of the
husband's like,
two,
okay, your ADHD is showing. Yeah, I feel like he's a little ADHD.
Out of the two messages that you sent for me for I guess the Rumpelstiltskin or Mad Hatter, is the top
Yeah.
one the Mad Hatter or the
Yeah,
bottom? Okay.
that accounts for it. Time is a touchy fellow. Yeah, that
Oh, okay. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Oh, alright. Alright. I think I kinda have a voice for this guy.
okay.
This pal. This haberdashery. Okay. Alright. Spent like half my time talking about anime. I got this. I'm sorry.
Oh, good. Refocusing. Here we go.
Time is a touchy fellow and he won't stand for beating. Now if you get on with him, for instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock on your morrow's morn. Am I saying that right?
Morrow's morn.
Morrow's
Alliteration. How
morn.
fun. Morrow, like tomorrow.
Okay.
It's just a shortened version.
Morrow's morn. Just time to begin your lessons. Only whisper a hint to time, and round goes the clock in a twinkling. Hands tripping over each other to 1:30. Time for dinner indeed. Wow, I feel like I should be reading this like a poet, but I'm also like, where is this conversation going? Oh my,
Do you
I
think
feel like
he's talking to Who do you think he's talking to?
I'm like, this is
Is he talking
definitely
to Alice, like right before they start eating?
that's what I said. I feel like they're definitely at like the tea table right now,
Or
right? And like,
maybe the rabbit? Because he's like, I'm late. And he's like,
yeah, I feel like he starts talking to Alice,
okay,
and then he definitely is like going off to like somebody else because like it all has in a sense like it's very connected to like I guess time and being on schedule for something or like knowing what time it is. But I also feel like he's like
maybe she
hinting.
asked him about the rabbit, and that's why he's talking about time. Maybe she's like, I'm trying to catch the rabbit. He's always in a hurry, and he's got this big watch. Have you seen him? Pocket watch. And he's like, oh, right.
Yeah,
Like maybe the rabbit came through very quickly, and then
I
maybe
feel you.
she asked him about the rabbit. Have you seen him? And then
Yeah,
they're
because
like discussing the rabbit.
this is
How do you think
definitely.
you feel about Alice? And how do you feel about the rabbit?
I think he definitely would feel. How would you say like happy? Like not like I guess like ecstatic to see Alice. Like oh, she look like if they haven't met, if this is like their first time meeting, like she kind of just comes to the table. I still feel like he'd be very like ecstatic, like oh this is a new person, oh, and then like he
Hmm.
just like kind of starts wandering off because this is a new person, and he like
Sure,
wants to ask her to like sit down, but then he like wants to also help her answer the question, so he just starts rambling off about something. As
sure.
for like the bunny, I feel like him and the bunny have this relationship of like we're on the same side, but we have our own things going. And the
Well, and also
bunny
the
would,
rabbit is very much like in service of the evil
yeah,
queen.
yeah. I
And
feel
maybe
like
you're like, we can be friendly,
right,
but like I'll stay over here.
right.
Let's
Most
not be
definite,
besties. Bye.
most definite.
Like, oh, a pleasure to see you. I'll be cordial because I don't want to get in trouble with the queen, but then
Yeah,
I'd love for you to go now.
yeah.
So I
I
stay off
feel
the
that.
radar. Keep my nose clean. Yeah.
I feel that.
Who knows? Maybe you guys were like great friends, but then he started working for the queen and you're like, no, we'll just be acquaintances. I don't know. So you can decide what you think his attitude is towards him.
Okay. Whew, excuse me.
You're good.
All right, got this. Got this. Ah, that accounts for it. Time is a touchy fellow, and he won't stand for beating. Now, if you get on with him, for instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock. On your morrow's morn, just time to begin your lessons. Only whisper a hint to time, and round goes the clock in a twinkling, hands tripping over each other to 1:30. Time for dinner indeed.
Nice. Okay. What did you think of that?
Felt very like fast, which I liked, but I guess like I didn't feel I guess like emotionally
Okay.
like it was coming off as like I'm answering you. Like it didn't feel it's hard to say. Like it didn't feel like connective, if that makes sense.
Okay. Let's do it again. So maybe you're like genuinely curious about Alice. Like you're trying to get more information out of her because you're like, ooh, a new person. I'd love to know more about you. Maybe you're like kind of like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like Regina George when she's like, hi, new girl. Come and sit with us. Can I ask you a question? Tell us more about you. Oh, weird. You lived in Africa. Great bracelet. Tell me more. Like that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
But with
Okay.
less nefarious purposes. Because, the Mad Hatter is not Regina George. I don't think.
Who knows? All right. Okay, I think I got this. Hopefully, maybe, possibly. Ah, that accounts for it. Time is a touchy fellow, and won't stand for beating. Now, if you got on with him, for instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock on your morrow's morn, just time to begin your lessons, only whisper a hint of time, and round goes the clock in a twinkling hands tripping over each other to 1:30. Time for dinner indeed.
Nice. Could it be like when you say time for dinner, like you're like, time for dinner? Like you're commanding everyone, like, let's go, let's get started. So like a big shift there. Um,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
and could you be more delighted on the first line? Like, ah, that accounts for it. Like a little more
Gotcha.
delight. Yeah,
Okay. I gotcha.
that's all good.
Okay. Okay. Ah, that accounts for it. Time is a touchy fellow, and he won't stand for beating. Now, if you get on with him, for instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock on a morrow's morn, just time to begin your lessons. Only whisper a hint to time, and around goes the clock in a twinkling, hands tripping over each other. 1:30. Time for dinner, indeed.
Nice. Good. And then, every time you take a breath, can it be like there's a dramatic shift of some kind? Ah, that accounts for it. Time is a touchy fellow, and he won't stand for beating. Now, if you got on with him, for instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock. So there's some kind of like shift every time. So it
Right.
could be that you speed up or slow down, that your pitch changes, that you have like a longer pause, a shorter pause, that you like accelerate, that you get louder, that you get softer, that you're like whispery in one moment, and then you're punchy on another line, and then you're flowy on another. So something changes every time you take a breath. Can we try that?
Okay. Gotcha. Ah, that accounts for it. Time is a touchy fellow, and he won't stand for beating. Now, if you got with him, for instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock on your morrow's morrow, just time to begin your lessons. Only whisper a hint at time, and round goes the clock in a twinkling, hands tripping over each other to 1:30. Time for dinner, indeed.
Good. I like that a little better. Okay. So now do exactly that, but make everything like you just took 3 shots of espresso.
Gotcha, gotcha. That's really fast. Okay. Good. Ah, that accounts for it. Time is a touchy fellow, and he won't stand for beating. Now, if you got with him, for instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock on your morrow's morning, just time to begin your lessons, only whispering at the time, and round goes the clock in a twinkling, hands tripping over each other to 1:30. Time for dinner, indeed.
Good. Excellent. All right. And then let's try it like you just exaggerate everything a lot
Okay.
and think more about points of view. So, strong points of view about any people, places, or things you talk about, any descriptive words. Like if I say soft, I'm going to say it softly. If I say harsh, I'm going to sound harsh. If I say complex, I'm going to say it like it's kind of hard to understand, right? Um, so, having those strong points of view. Okay, try that.
Gosh. Ah, that accounts for it. Time is a touchy fellow, and it won't stand for a beating. Now, if you got on with him, for instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock on your morrow's morning, just time to begin your lessons. Only whisper a hint to time, and round goes the clock in a twinkling, hands down, tripping over each other, 1:30. Time for dinner, indeed.
Nice. Okay, good. Um, so I feel like you can go even further, like touchy. When like they're kind of touchy, like sensitive, you know, um, or like he won't stand for it. So I want you to think about the words you want to lean into and kind of emphasize more. Like you want to kind of spotlight a word in each phrase.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's like a stress on them. Try that again. You're good.
Ah, that accounts for it. Time is a touchy fellow, and he won't stand for a beating. Now, if you got on with him, for instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock on your morrow's morn, just time to begin your lessons. Only whisper a hint to time, and round goes the clock in a twinkling, hands tripping over each other to 1:30. Time for dinner, indeed.
I like that the best so far. What did you think of it?
I liked it. I liked it.
I did too. Okay, good. So, what are our key takeaways there? What are the things that really stood out to you and you're like, okay, this was really effective for me. So, I want to lock that in my brain so I remember it and can use that.
I would definitely say like, um, with the character like this, most definitely is like when having like how you said to take a breath after like kind of each phrase and like knowing like he can like kind of pounce from this point of view to like exaggerating this to
Mhm.
maybe like it this phrase goes with a different kind of feeling to it. So
Yeah.
like just being able to like take that breath and it being okay with like every line or like every phrase of like it sounding different because that's just the way that character is.
Yeah. Love it. Okay. And then, what would you say is maybe the thing that you did the best with this script and the thing that you felt like, oh, that probably needs the most work for this script?
I would definitely say the best thing I probably did on this script was speeding it up in a sense of being able to like talk that fast but still try to like get the words to like sound like words instead of mumbling. And then like
Ah. Mhm.
the one thing I would want to like fix is um how I was just talking about like how this character can have like different POVs or different stance on different phrases and being able to like show that better, which like each pass and like show that better in a sense of like it's still the same character. It's not somebody new saying it. That's just how like that character is. Like he goes from like feeling this or saying this way to like, oh, now his brain's hardwired to say it this way or feel this way about it or like say it softly or say or like exaggerate it very big. I would want to like kind of fix that with like with this script where with or like with a character like this in a sense.
Yeah. Okay, great. Um, cool. So then, mm, good. So keep working on that this week. Let's go ahead and try the Rumpelstiltskin one. I just want you to wing it like a cold
Okay,
read. Just
gotcha.
just go through it, give it a run through and see what you think.
Okay. You call that singing? Bah! I know a turtle who snaps better than you sing. What a stupid song! Come, come, Queen Muttonhead, you can't go back on a promise. Give me the child. Give me the child, or I shall lose my temper. The waterworks have no effect on me. I feel like amusing myself. Mortals are fun to tease. Very well. Let's see his christening tomorrow. I give you 24 hours to guess my name. If you discover my name in time, you keep the brat. If not, I take him. And that is that.
Okay. So, how do you feel like this character is similar or different than the last one that we did?
So similar is definitely like he go like his brain is like going from one thing to another. Bam, bam, bam.
Uh-huh. I agree.
It's like I see it this way. I want to exaggerate it this way. Oh, this is how I feel about this certain word, or I can slow it with this. The difference is most definitely that he's evil. Like he's a bad guy. Like
Yeah.
when he wants to initiate like this word, it can go from like yes to oh yes, this is my child type like sense to it. Like it'll go from like a very like whimsical this is the deal that we made to a very like no, this is the deal that we made, give me the child. But like that's I guess that's how there it differs. Like one is very like always positive, optimistic, open. One is like he's fooling you that he is positive to where really he's a bad guy.
Good point. So how do we make him sound more bad, like more sinister? How do we bring that across?
That is a very good question. Uh, I would like, I guess, like reading this, I would definitely have like a
full like tone shift in a sense of like he sounds like a very good person at the beginning, but then like when she refuses to give him the child, that's when it's like the mask comes off and like his true like voice comes out in a sense.
Like a bait and switch moment.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hello, I'm so nice. And then he's like,
Yeah.
a monster comes out.
Yeah.
Love it. So more of that sharp shift that happens suddenly, like a reaction to what she does. Ah, okay, let's try it again. Try to think of what she does and says, and then make it more reactive that you're responding to her.
Okay.
Like if someone's walking away and you're like, stop, come back. Or if someone's like nodding along and you're like, yeah, we're on the same page. Or somebody's like, no. And you're like, well, that's rude, you know, or whatever. So like think of how you would respond to them.
Okay.
Okay, let's try that.
You call that singing? Bah! I know a turtle who snaps better than you sing. What a stupid song. Come, come, Queen Muttonhead. You can't go back on a promise. Give me the child. Give me the child, or I shall lose my temper. The waterworks have no effect on me. I feel like amusing myself. Mortals are fun to tease. Very well, let's see. His christening tomorrow. I give you 24 hours to guess my name. If you discover my name, in time you may keep the brat. If not, I take him, and that is that.
Okay. I feel like at the beginning, I would make him a little more like ornery or teasing, like, psh, you call that singing? Ha! I know a turtle who snaps better than you sing. What a stupid song. Come, come, Queen Muttonhead. And then her name probably isn't Queen Muttonhead, so maybe you're mocking her. Come, come, Queen Muttonhead. You know, like mocking, and then you can't go back on a promise. You know, it's like more sinister. Give me the child. You know, yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
I probably would make him kind of mean from the start, personally.
Okay. Okay.
Because you're like making fun of her. You suck at singing.
Right.
Yeah? Let's try it again.
You call that singing? Bah! I know a turtle who snaps better than you sing. What a stupid song. Come, come, Queen Muttonhead. You can't go back on a promise. Give me the child. Give me the child, or I shall lose my temper. The waterworks have no effect on me. I feel like amusing myself. Mortals are fun to tease. Very well, let's see. His christening tomorrow. I give you 24 hours to guess my name. If you discover my name in time, you may keep the brat. If not, I take him, and that is that.
Yeah, evil ass. All right. But also more responding to her. So like,
Okay.
give me the child. Give me the child, or I shall lose my temper. Ugh. The waterworks have no effect on me. I feel like amusing myself. Mortals are fun to tease. Very well. Let's see. His christening's tomorrow, yes. I give you. So it's like a game to you, like, I give you 24 hours to guess my name. If you discover my name in that time, you may keep the brat. If not, I take him, and that is that. Yeah,
Gotcha.
make sense?
Yeah.
So again, more reacting to her. And also it's like you have these new thoughts. It's not pre-planned. It's like you're like, ooh, what about this? Oh, we could do that. Yeah. So you have to show that it's a new thought. Yeah? Try that.
Gotcha. Okay. You call that singing? Bah! I know a turtle who snaps better than you sing. What a stupid song. Come, come, Queen Muttonhead. You can't go back on a promise. Give me the child. Give me the child, or I shall lose my temper. Ugh, the waterworks have no effect on me. I feel like amusing myself. Mortals are fun to tease. Very well. Let's see. His christening, tomorrow. I give you 24 hours to guess my name. If you discover my name in time, you may keep the brats. If not, I take him, and that is that.
Yes, much better. Good. So, what would you say you liked about that? And what do you feel like you could improve on it? Ow, I hit my funny bone.
Um, I
My
guess
dog
like
is
the.
trying to knock the door open.
I guess like I like my like and improve is like the same. It was
Okay.
like I like the responsive to it is like it's not all one thing. Like there is somebody. I guess you're talking to like, oh, okay, that person says this. All right, now I got to respond to them. Oh, okay, now they come
Yeah.
back. Now I'm coming back with it. Like it's not one big monologue. I guess you would say. Like it feels like there would be somebody talking to me through these sentences or like through this.
Right. It feels more like a
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
And it can be really I actually like to do monologues like that because it feels a lot more active.
mm,
Like, I think you come in and your goal is to get the kid and get out, and you're like, gosh, you're annoying. Okay, give it over. Right. But then it changes, and you're like, ooh, now I want to have fun. But
right.
then at the end, you're like, I'm threatening you,
I feel you on that.
but you like delight in it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So thinking about like what your action is, what you're going after at different parts in the script. But
Gotcha.
ultimately, your goal is to get the kid and
Right.
to win. I think to win. I think that's your goal. You want to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. And then so playing with actions, assigning like actions throughout, and there should be a clear beginning, middle, and end.
Right.
And then assign like an emotion to each line. Like on this line, I'm disgusted. On this line, I'm mocking. On this line, I'm spitting at her. On this one, I'm teasing. On this one, I'm gloating. On this one, I'm demanding. On this one, I'm warning, right? So
Mm,
like I pick a different thing for every line
right.
to give me like a clear direction and make it feel very active, like I'm going after something the whole time. Yeah. So I want you to play with that this week.
Okay.
Cool?
Gotcha. Gotcha. Cool. Cool.
Nice. Awesome work. I want you to practice these three this week and record them for me and send them to me so I can hear what you do with it. Yeah?
Copy that. Copy that.
Do you want to schedule for next week?
Yes. Next. Yeah.
Because otherwise we'll forget. Uh, what time frames and days work best for you?
Mondays work.
Mondays?
Yes.
Best?
Yeah.
All right. You're on Pacific time next week? Let's
Yeah.
see.
Yes. Yes.
And you said you finish around 7-ish.
Yeah.
So could you do 9:15 Monday?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you like doing it right after you work, or do you like doing it later, like after you've rested?
Right after work's pretty good for me.
Okay, 9:15. So I'll give you some time to like get home, get a snack. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay. Monday, 9:15 a.m. Love
Cool.
it.
Cool.
Yeah. Awesome. So I will plan to see you then. We can do more fun, exciting character voice. This was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved hearing your creative choices and your growth. That really doesn't give you much time. It's only like 5 days. Well, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 4 days to practice and record these. You got it?
Gotcha. Yes.
Or if you don't have time to record them, then you could just show me what you've done with them at the start of our next session.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Okay? Cool.
I
Great
won't let you
work.
down.
Alrighty, I'll see you then. I
All
look
right.
forward to it. Genuinely. This was fun. I will see you then. Keep up the
Cool,
good
cool.
work. See you in 5 days.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.